On today's edition of the Commanders Report, there's another edge rusher that just hit the open market for the Commanders to consider signing before the start of Commanders training camp in late July. And then also, Philadelphia and their fans are scared of the Washington Commanders. I'll let you guys know the latest slander coming from the city of brotherly love coming up later in today's show. But if you guys hate the Philadelphia Eagles and especially their fans and you want to make those Eagles cry, like that thumbs up icon or like the video here. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. So if you love Washington Commanders, you hate Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles, click that thumbs up icon today. All right, so let's get into the edge rusher news that we got today, which is that the Cleveland Browns released rotational veteran edge rusher Ogbo Okoronkwo, and he is now officially a free agent. And today, let's talk a little bit here about Okoronkwo's game and whether or not the Commanders should think about adding him to their roster. He is 30 years old. He's got some pretty decent size at 6'2", 250 pounds. He's a very seasoned rotational pass rusher in the NFL. Pretty darn productive here, as we'll talk about here in just a second. But the question surrounding why Okoronkwo was released was, why did Cleveland let him go? My guess is here that the Browns didn't necessarily love what they saw from him during the OTA periods this year, and when push came to shove, they just signed a new kicker. Okoronkwo was the guy that was the odd man out, but he's been pretty darn productive over the last several seasons in his NFL career. 3 sacks last year with Cleveland, 4.5 the year before that, and 5 with the Houston Texans back in 2022. He also racks up some TFL numbers as well for a rotational pass rusher. So this is somebody that's not really been like an every down starter. He has filled in as a starting edge rusher in his career, but he's never really been a full-time starter. But he has been one of the better rotational veteran edge rushers in this league for a very long time. And that's exactly what the Washington Commanders need right now. All right, you got Dorrance Armstrong, you got Cleveland Ferrell, of course, Dietrich Wise, Jacob Martin are the guys that are expected to be playing out on the edge for the team this year. If you're looking for somebody that's more of a pass rushing specialist, somebody that's got a lot of experience playing in the National Football League, Okoronkwo is certainly somebody Adam Peters and Dan Quinn could potentially look at as somebody that can bolster this edge rusher room. But there are also a lot of other edge rusher options out there at the disposal of the Washington Commanders if they want to sign one in NFL free agency, which is probably one of the reasons why they haven't really felt like they're in any rush to make a move, because there are still so many good options out there. Guys like Von Miller, Za'Darius Smith, Jadeveon Clowney, Matthew Judon, and Preston Smith are all veterans that, most of them are coming off pretty decent seasons. Judon, not so much with the Atlanta Falcons, but Von Miller could certainly fill that rotational pass rusher role. Za'Darius Smith as well. Jadeveon Clowney and Preston Smith all had good seasons last year despite being on the other side of 30. But right now, I think that the Washington Commanders, probably the reason why they haven't added an edge rusher is either A, they like what they have right now, and they feel like with the stunts and the loops and all the games that they play at the line of scrimmage, that they're going to be able to create pressure even without a legit number one edge rusher, or they're waiting for Trey Hendrickson and for his situation to be resolved. And they are kind of waiting out the Hendrickson situation because they understand that if they don't get Hendrickson, if they still want to get an edge rusher, we just showed a graphic with 5 really good veteran, free agents out there, along with Okoronkwo now, that they could potentially sign in free agency if Hendrickson and the Bengals come to terms. But I think plan A for the Washington Commanders right now is that the Bengals and the Hendrickson situation kind of devolves as we get closer to training camp, and that that situation ends in a trade where Trey Hendrickson, last year's NFL sack leader, becomes a Washington Commander. But if that doesn't happen, I guess we'll see what they end up doing as we approach training camp in just a few short weeks. So let me know down there in the comments section, should the Washington Commanders sign Ogbo Okoronkwo? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section for today's pinned question. Type S for sign or P for pass. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Ridge. And while I'm telling you about Ridge and all their great products today, let me know down there in the comments section if you would sign or pass on Ogbo Okoronkwo. All right, let's have a little word from our sponsor here from Ridge. And Ridge isn't just about wallets, guys, even though that is what they're known for. They create premium everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and even rings, and they're all built with the same sleek, durable design. I personally have the Ridge wallet, and I love its unique, slim, and modern design, which carries up to 12 cards. It's also super durable, and it's made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. And no matter what Ridge product you choose from their lineup, Ridge has free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products. Like I mentioned, guys, I have the Ridge wallet. I got it right here. I carry it everywhere that I go because I absolutely love it. I used to have like a super thick leather wallet with a bunch of different cards and cash, and just really starts to pile up. But with Ridge, you guys have this super compact package that fits right in your pocket. It's super comfortable. You don't have that giant bulge coming out of your pocket there with the big leather wallet. And also, you guys can get Commanders branded stuff as well from Ridge. That's a picture of the Commanders branded wallet that you can get today if you want to represent the burgundy and gold everywhere you go. So for a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off at Ridge by using code CHAT at checkout. Just head on over to ridge.com and use code CHAT, and you're all set. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. A big shout out to Ridge for sponsoring today's edition of the Commanders Report. Certainly seems like, even though the Philadelphia Eagles just won the Super Bowl, that the Washington Commanders are living in their head rent-free here, as Philly Voice's Jimmy Kempski has 3 reasons, and he put out a whole article explaining why he thinks the Washington Commanders are going to stink in 2025 and why the Eagles will continue to reign supreme in the NFC East. Well, the first reason that he brought up is that regression is coming. He thinks that, last year the Commanders, overperformed, and that they're going to go regress back to the mean here in 2025. This is what Jimmy had to say about the Commanders and their apparently forthcoming regression. The Commanders won 4 games in 2023. In 2024, they won 12. That was the biggest win total improvement in the NFL last season. It's tied for the 9th best improvement since the NFL went to a 16-game schedule in 1978. Well, Jimmy, I hate to break it to you, man, but the reason for that improvement was a guy named Jadon Daniels, who was drafted number 2 overall in last year's NFL draft, and he had arguably the greatest rookie season for a quarterback in NFL history. And guess what, Jimmy? You're going to have to deal with him for the next decade plus in the NFC East. So I hope you enjoyed that Super Bowl, Jimmy, last year, because I think it's the last time you're going to be celebrating a Super Bowl championship as long as Jadon Daniels, the best quarterback in the NFC, is still in this division. The second reason that Jimmy brings up here for why the Commanders will stink this year is stupid trades, according to him, this offseason. This is what Jimmy had to say. The Commanders have made made 3 trades since the 2024 trade deadline for Marshawn Lattimore, Deebo Samuel, and Laramie Tunsil. All 3 trades were wildly hailed as wins for the Commanders when they were made, probably because they're just recognizable names. So obviously he doesn't believe in Marshawn Lattimore, Laramie Tunsil, and Deebo Samuel, but here's a list of 3 things I can't wait for. I can't wait for Marshawn Lattimore to lock up his boy A.J. Brown. I can't wait for Laramie Tunsil to shut down the Eagles' pass rush. And I can't wait for Deebo Samuel to run over that Philadelphia Eagles defense that those Philly fans really do love. All right, so now the final reason why we are living rent-free in Jimmy's head here is the stupid signings, according to him, that the Washington Commanders have made this offseason. So let's see what he had to say, specifically about Javon Kinlaw. The Commanders entered free agency loaded with cap space and limited possibilities. Their big free agency signing was Javon Kinlaw, who somehow scored a 3-year deal worth $45 million. Kinlaw spent his first 4 years with the 49ers, and last year with the Jets, his 9.5 career sacks in 5 seasons. Now, to Jimmy's credit here, okay, we have said on this show that, Kinlaw, maybe based on his past production, maybe wasn't worth that $45 million contract over 3 seasons, but he could be an absolute monster this year for the Washington Commanders, all right? He is, ever since he came into the league, he's had a lot of potential. He's got an explosive first step, an incredible amount of play strength. He's got long arms, and then for a bigger guy, he's got some really, really good athleticism. The Commanders say they even plan on using the 320-plus pound defensive lineman as an edge rusher at times, especially on early downs. And last year, even though he's only got 9.5 sacks in his first, few seasons in the NFL, almost half of those sacks came last year with the New York Jets, where he racked up 4.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles, 5 TFLs. He has only gotten better throughout his NFL career, and there's a reason why multiple well-run teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers were in the hunt for a guy like Javon Kinlaw. So I think that has a chance to really be a good signing for the Washington Commanders this year. And, obviously there's a little bit of projection there from the Commanders front office and coaching staff thinking they can get more out of Kinlaw than what the Jets and 49ers were able to. But I think it's more than reasonable to think that the Commanders can do that heading into this year. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comment section. What is your confidence level in Javon Kinlaw? Put it on a scale of 1, meaning he's going to suck, terrible signing, to 10, meaning he's going to be a Pro Bowl caliber player this year. I love it. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. That'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports. We're going to have more content for you guys all throughout the weekend. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, if you never want to miss our daily updates on the Washington Commanders.